We have got something really fun here with us at the shop today. Next to me is a 2014 Porsche Macan, and we are going to be changing the head unit to a brand new 12.3 inch system. Now, anybody that knows anything about the PCM systems in the Porsche models, you will know that you cannot easily change the head unit to an Alpine system or Pioneer or anything like that, so you are left with CarPlay integration. Now, that is something that we also do a lot of. However, we've finally figured out how to change the head unit in this car. It is going to be crazy. Let's have a look. Now, this is the factory head unit. So what we normally do with this head unit is we pull it out, install our integration kit, and you have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto on this original screen. What we're going to do today is remove all of this, put a brand new screen in, relocate the vents underneath, and it's gonna completely transform the interior. So because we're replacing the vents, we have this brand new panel that's going to replace this panel here. It's going to retain that very end vent, and it's gonna end right here. And you might look at that and go, oh, it looks a bit strange where it ends. Well, this is where the new head unit finishes. So it is gonna line up perfectly, and it's gonna look really, really nice. And there she is, guys. Have a look at that. 12.3 inch capacitive HD touch. CarPlay is going to look crazy on this. I can't wait to see it. Beautiful buttons right here. Brand new vents. The vents feel great. Very happy with how we designed these vents. And then if we come over to the back, you've got all of the plugs here. So we'll show you what you need to connect to get this thing in and working. It is a bit of a job, so we should get into it. So we're gonna go ahead and show you exactly how to get this kit in. It is not the easiest install in the world. And just touching on that, I do get a lot of people calling up the shop and they're like, do you guys do installs? Yes, we do installs. Most of the installs we do are on customer cars. So if you have your own kit, or if you want to pick up one of our custom fitting bay kits and you also want it installed, just reach out to us at the shop and we can help you out with installation. We also have partners all over Australia. So if you need installs done in Queensland, Perth, Sydney, wherever it is, we can help you. I do get emails of people asking me if I have partners in the US. We do not have any install partners in the US, but if you own a shop and you're in the US and you want to collab, let's do that. So anybody that's worked on a Macan will agree with me here. The hardest part of this install is going to be taking these vents out. It is an absolute pain. So the two vents that we have to remove are here and one on the other side. Now you can use a pick tool that has a hook on it, or you can use something like this. I made this nice and easy to make, just a little handle bent and a hook. So that is gonna go in between the vent fins, behind the vent, and we're gonna pull it straight out. A lot harder than it sounds. I'll get this one done, and then I'll pull it out and show you exactly how this works. So with these vents, you wanna be very, very careful not to break them, because if they break, obviously they're broken, right? And you have to replace them. You can't just fix these little fins. So what you do is you get a tool like this, and you throw it in between the vents, being very careful not to hit any of the plastic, any of the moving parts. Okay, there's a lot in there, and just gently, 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 all the way to the end. So this is what it looks like when it's done. Boom. You're pulling, if you can see that. Yeah, so the hook goes around the vent and pulls on it. And then from the front, when you're pulling on it, it's not gonna fall or anything like that, and you're gonna pull it straight out. The problem with these is they're very, very delicate, the whole vent, and the clips are very, very strong. So if you use a pry tool and just pry on it, you'll break it, 100% you'll break it. So you need to be very, very careful. Use a tool like this, go from behind, and you can put a fair bit of force pulling on it, and it will just come out very nice. Well, not very nice and easily, but it will come out. And that's how you do it. So once the vents are out, that is the hard part done. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 Torx 25s, and then you can start removing this whole radio and undoing all the plugs behind it, and then we can start looking at fitting our brand new kit. And this is what it should look like once you've pulled those 4 screws out. There are just a few plugs on the original head unit. So you've got a quad lock connector right here, a mustard plug here, a DAB antenna right there, GPS antenna, AM FM antenna, and another LVDS cable. Once they're all out, you just go ahead and put them away so that they don't destroy anything here. We'll put a couple microfibers down, and we'll start our first steps on the brand new head unit. Okay, so the very first step is not going to be the funnest thing that you've ever done, but these original vents right here need to be removed from where the blower motor is. So here we have the side vents, and then if you go underneath where the red wiring is right underneath there, it has been disconnected. And the reason for that is the brand new vents are gonna take its place. So you're just gonna pop that off and then pop this on in its place. So it's not the hardest thing in the world to do. You will need a pick tool, and there's a clip at the top, a clip at the bottom, and then you can sort of maneuver it with your hands left and right, and the whole thing will pop right out. Make it sound easy, it's not that easy, but you can do it. Now, I don't think you can actually get this out of the dash without removing the whole dash, but I'm gonna remove the glove box and see if I can pull it out that way and let you know. Otherwise, you're gonna have to secure it, leaving it in the dash. That's pretty much the only way. So if you can get it out, it'll be through here. If you can't, get a big zip tie and zip tie it down so it doesn't rattle. And then basically after that, the brand new vents that come in your kit are gonna connect up to where the original vents were, and then you can build the vents from there. So basically when you slide the head unit in, they get really nice airflow straight from the original parts. And this is how it should look when you're done. We've got 2 brand new vents. Now this all comes in your kit, new mounting hardware. So this relocation vent goes up here and then adapts right there to the new piece that we clipped on. Now when you're putting the new piece in, if you're a little bit worried about it fitting, you'll know when it's on because it physically clicks into place and you almost cannot move it, like it sits in there really tight. And then you can go ahead and build the new side of the vents. So we've done that on both sides. You'll see I've added plenty of foam. So this all comes in your kit pre-done. There is foam absolutely everywhere, and that is making sure you have a very solid airflow. So whatever was coming out here, you get the same airflow from here. I didn't even have to pull the glove box out to realize that this is not coming out. It has to stay in the dash. This side here will not fit through there, and that side will fall down, but you obviously can't pull it through, and obviously you can't pull it through that way, and we're not gonna cut it out. So I'm just gonna keep it in there. I'm gonna zip tie it. I'm gonna do whatever I have to do to make sure that is solid and not moving. And it's good to leave it in there just in case if you ever have to go back to factory, or for whatever reason you sell the car and you want to put it back to original, you can put it back to original. If you cut this to take it out or destroy it trying to pull it out or whatever, then you need to buy a new panel in the case that you ever change the head unit. So that's a case by case thing. I like all of our installs to be able to go back to factory just in case. So in that case, we're gonna leave it, zip tie it, do whatever I have to do to keep that solid. And anyway, now we can move on to the next step. So I got a nice big zip tie right around the center of those vents. And as you can see, they are not going anywhere. They're super tight. I'm happy with that. This bracket here is the next thing to go on. We're using the original mounting hardware from the original head unit to mount this bracket into place. And then we've just got the wiring. So this is the part that everybody hates, and this is the part that I actually really enjoy. So I'm gonna go through, get everything installed, and then show you how to make it work as we go. And once it's all done, we're pretty much ready to mount it. So I've just grabbed all the accessory stuff out, like the GPS antenna, USB retention, all that sort of stuff, and just put it here. And I've grabbed the main bulk of the harness. So this is gonna be the main power, sound, all that sort of stuff. And I'm gonna tape everything up. I just wanted to show you, this is gonna take the fiber optic input. So the fiber optic input is found here. If you have this in your car, into this quad lock connector right here, you need to remove it, and it's gonna go into the new module. If you don't have this, you'll have a lot more wires in here, and they're speaker wires. You don't have to worry about this step. However, when you reach out to us online, we can work out whether you've got a fiber optic amp or not, and then you can order the correct kit accordingly. This has an amp, fiber optic amp, so we're gonna use this kit, and then you're gonna use the RCA RCA signal out of this module into the new head unit, because this is gonna take the signal and transform it basically. Main power to the new head unit, the CAN module, so that's your steering wheel controls, reverse camera input, all that sort of stuff. CAN plug, that's a very small 2-pin plug. A lot of people miss this. Don't miss that plug. It's very important that you keep it, and everything else can get taped up. So I'll make this look really neat, and then I'll show you how you should install it. There we go. Now that looks a lot neater. The only wire coming off that's not connected to anything right now is the AMP-C wire. I will test and let you know if you need to connect that, because some cars you do, some cars you don't. So just stand by for that one. Here we have cam video input. So that's going to be reverse camera. In the kit, there will also be a RCA that looks like this. They just go in together, boom. And then you can go ahead and connect that to the head unit so the original camera works. If you don't have camera, don't worry about it. AUX left and right in. These two, if you're going to retain the factory auxiliary port, no one uses AUX anymore. It's all wireless CarPlay, so I would just say tape them up, not needed. But if you want to connect them, go ahead and connect them. Right here is where all your RCAs connect together. Now for the fiber optic, what you're going to do is take out the plug that's in the port right now, remove it like that. Inside there's a little gray connector that needs to come out. Now you might have to use a pick. You're just gonna pop that up, just like that. So that's gonna go in the bin, don't need that. And then the fiber optic that you had here is just gonna slide in. Now we'll only go one way, so do not force it. Boom. That is in, ready to go, just like that. And then on this module, you can go ahead and connect that back in. And then the quad lock, open it up. I had an email the other day, someone was struggling with this. So open it up as far as it can open on the original side. Line it up correctly. It's very important that you line it up correctly. It only goes one way. Push it in until you feel it connect. You might have even just heard that. And then close the latch, just like that. It's nice and easy. So once our power and fiber optics is done, we've got a few accessory ports here. So there's a few things that come in the kit and a couple that do not. This will come in the kit. So the mustard LVDS connector goes into this connector right here, into the back of the new head unit, and that retains the genuine USB port. So that's all good. You can keep genuine USB working. Next up, the black Farker cable goes to this adapter, which is your AM FM radio signal. And then lastly, a lot of people don't know, but the blue is actually the original GPS antenna. So this does not come in the kit, but it is something that we've designed and sell. Farker adapter. So you pop that straight in, connect that to your head unit, and you're using the genuine GPS antenna that came with the car for the GPS input on the new head unit. That is a very, very good option, something I highly recommend people do. Now moving on, we've got the GPS antenna that does come in the kit. You don't need this anymore because we've used that. However, if you don't want to use that or you don't want to pay for it or whatever the reason, don't worry about it. Just go ahead and install this antenna nice and high on the dash and connect it. We've done that, so this can go over there. Wi-Fi antenna, the car does not have a factory Wi-Fi antenna, so this one does have to get installed. I would say up around this area here, on top of this vent that we've secured, somewhere like that, nice and high, away from electronics. So in here is a no-go. Up here is okay, around here is okay. So that sort of thing. If you keep it around electronics, it's gonna get interference, all right? So keep that in mind. One USB, you can run that into the glove box or do whatever that you want with it. And then lastly is the SIM card slot that we always put into the glove box and the audio in and outs, which I'll show you how to connect. And then that is pretty much it. You can pretty much start maneuvering everything and testing. All right, now for your amplifier, that plugs into the head unit. You've got AUX out, right and left. That is going, so it's going, signal is coming out of the head unit into this module. This module is transforming this signal to the fiber optic signal so that the original amplifier can power the speakers with the right signal. So basically out, in, connect together, tape up, and just have a good look here at all the other stuff we've done. Everything is taped up nicely. For guys that are in this industry and for other people, DIYers, take some pride in your work, tape things up, mount everything nicely. It just looks so much better. I've seen a few of these where people don't tape anything and it's all just sloshed in behind there and it looks like absolute crap. Take a bit of pride, make everything really nice and neat so that if anyone ever pulls it out, they look at it and go, wow, the fitting bay did that, they're the best. Or they look at it and they're like, whoever did this did a good job, or whatever. Or if it's bad, they'll look at it and be like, this is junk, right? Anyway, tangent over. Let's keep going. All right, so I'm just starting to work out where our wiring is going to go. We don't want to lose anything like that, and also don't want to get in the way of the vents. So I'm just making sure that everything is lined up nicely. But before we go too far, of course, we'll go ahead and test it. So let's do that now. Okay, there she is. Everything that we need working is working. So we've got sound working, which means that little blue wire that we saw, you can tape up, you don't need it. We've got no AM FM because I haven't connected that antenna, so that's fine. Steering wheel controls are working, which means the CAN bus module is working, so that is all good. There's one setting we need to change, and I'll walk you through how to do that setting shortly. But as far as this goes, we're pretty much ready to go back to standard. I just want to test the original USB and make sure that's working as well. Now there's a couple ways to test that. You can just plug your phone in and make sure it charges, or you can get a USB with music and video on it, plug it in and see if it works. But of course, make sure it's plugged in at the back. So all we want to do once that's plugged in is make sure our phone is charging, and it is charging, so that means the original USB port is working, so that is what we want. So we've seen the head unit working. All we need to do now is move all of these cables out of the way of the new vents, and then we can plug the head unit in and slide it right into place. And there we go. Have a look at that. Insane scenes, guys. We've got the new panels here, new panel here. Lines up perfectly with the display. Very nice. Your new air vents are relocated down here. Nice air's coming out through those, and you still have the side vents on both sides working as they should. Factory reverse camera works. This customer actually notified us that the factory camera is not working, so we're going to replace that with an aftermarket one. So that will work. However, if you do have factory camera, that will work as normal. Touchscreen, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, massive screen, super clear. It looks very nice. All of your steering wheel controls will work as well, as they should. Bluetooth phone calls, Bluetooth quality, all that stuff, all great. If you want to get out of CarPlay, you can go home. This is the home screen. There's a whole bunch of settings here. You've got AM, FM radio, Apple CarPlay, USB input, Bluetooth, all the goodies, all the factory car settings as well. So you can go through here and actually change. Jaden, shush!
He's filming.
You can actually go through here and change all of the factory car settings as well. So basically all the stuff that the original PCM had, you've got here. So you can go ahead and play with those settings. And there is a whole lot in this unit. We might do another video as a review, so it'll show you exactly how to connect CarPlay and how to get everything working. But if you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. And that is pretty much it. I'll show you guys the fitment. Very nice. The build quality is amazing. The unit looks crazy. It is an insane upgrade for this car. There it is, guys. That is our 12-inch head unit to suit the Porsche Macan. If you have any questions about this install, drop them in the comments below. If you want to reach out to us, www.shoptfb.com. If you want to get this exact kit, first link in the description will take you to the website where you can get this exact kit for your car. There'll just be a couple of options to fill out about your car, and that is it. Anything else in the comments below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Catch you in the next one.